Hello everyone, Alec Alger here,
And Justin Teeter.
and welcome to the Season 2 premiere of the Filmstrip Arcade.
Yay!
Now, let's talk about Transformers.
Now, we all know what it is. It was originally a toy in the 80s. Robots that transform into vehicles. Now, how can that not be awesome?
It was a good marketing strategy, especially towards the male population of children.
Of course, it translated to other forms of media, starting with comics, and then, of course, the cartoon show, which aired in 1984.
Now, you may be all like, "Puh, it's a cartoon based off toys." But hey, those toys sold really well, and if you want to sell toys, a cartoon better be good.
And you better have a good cartoon, and they succeeded. It was a very entertaining cartoon show, a lot of children enjoy, and a lot of people who grew up with that enjoyed. I mean, we never grew up with it. We thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm still catching up on episodes of Generation 1 Transformers to this day.
And like most cartoons at the time, there of course had to be reboots. But not many of these reboots never captured the same charm as the original, except for two. One being Transformers Prime, and the other is what we're going to talk about today.
Transformers Beast Wars! Now let's talk about Transformers Beast Wars that premiered in 1996. While we do prefer the original 80s cartoon, Transformers Beast Wars, which premiered in 1996, it's just as good in my opinion.
I agree. One thing they do that I think is a little better than G1 is that they have a lot more character development.
And there's a lot less characters, so character development is possible because as much as I love the 80s cartoon, there were just too many characters and stuff, and some of them you just forgot about.
Now, this was basically the Transformers, kind of like what the Next Generation was to Star Trek.
Yes. It's a successor series, and it takes place way after the original series.
So it's kind of like a sequel series. Now, the premise of the show is a pretty straightforward Transformers stuff. Bad guys are doing bad things, and the good guys have to stop them.
Basically, two robotic species known as the Predacons and the Maximals lived on Cybertron for many years and such in peace and harmony until the renegade Megatron and his minions tried to rule the galaxy and such, but they're chased by the Maximals and they both crash land on a distant planet with high energon levels.
And apparently, since the energon levels are so high, the only way they can prevent from overdosing and shutting down, they have to take the forms of local creatures. So they scan, pretty much, that's how they get their animal forms.
Some transform into things like gorillas, dinosaurs, and cheetahs and such. But like they have to protect themselves from the high energon levels. You may be like, for Transformers fans out there, you may be like, but energon is what the Transformers need to survive. But too much of anything isn't a good thing, and it causes them to overload, and it would kill them and such if they don't take these forms.
Want my word, it's canon. Watch this clip from G1.
Decepticons, a toast to the imminent destruction of the accursed Autobots. Energy! We won't need to conserve it after tomorrow. We can bleed this planet dry! Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! 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 This stuff's the greatest! Those were the good old days back on Cybertron. Didn't have to sneak around in these ugly Earth disguises.
Time to cut the jets and glide. What in the world?
Ghetto Cybertron, land of the metal moon.
Looks like they've over-energized. Now's our chance.
Huh?
Get us out of here! Fast, Brawn! Megatron!
What's the... Autobots! Decepticons! Attack! I don't believe it! No matter! I'll finish the Autobots myself!
Now, it's not really much of a reboot when it's more of a sequel to Generation 1. In fact, the Optimus and Megatron in this version are the descendants of the original Optimus and Megatron.
So don't be angry that your Megatron transformed into a dinosaur, because that is not the original Megatron. So the original Megatron, he's only similar in name only, but he's completely different, and it's like the great-grandson of the original Megatron, if even related at all in terms of bloodline or energon line, whatever they have.
The same goes for Optimus. In fact, he's not Optimus Prime, he's Optimus Primal.
Like I said, I prefer the original Optimus and Megatron a lot better, because Optimus Primal just sounds like a bored superhero.
Yeah, I mean, I give credit, they're making him a lot younger and trying to make him more relatable, but I've always preferred the original Optimus because his characteristics were kind of something you see like in a side character, like Obi-Wan or Gandalf, not like the main character.
Yeah, and don't get me started on Megatron. He sounds like a metrosexual villain who... Oh my god, let me just play this clip.
We don't have to do this, Megatron. There has been peace between the Maximals and Predacons for centuries. Why start this up again?
Peace, perhaps on your side, Maximal scum. Yes, but not on ours. Permit me to inform you that an enemy which appears to be peaceful may in fact be merely biding its time.
Finally!
We Predacons have never abandoned our rightful goal of galactic conquest. Lo, we have merely been waiting for the right moment to strike.
You mean like this?
Teeter!
Ah, a treacherous, underhanded sneak attack. Oh, I like you, pussycat. Yes.
But he's voice acted by David Kaye, and although he's supposed to sound menacing, he really doesn't. And believe it or not, some kids reported that they were afraid of Megatron, but probably because of his dinosaur appearance. But his voice is so ridiculous.
I know, he sounds...
But I mean, it's not bad voice acting, it's just a little over the top.
Yeah, but to be fair, he is the most memorable voice in this, so...
Definitely.
More memorable than Optimus Primal's voice, so...
Yeah, but they're both very good voice actors, don't get me wrong. One thing about Optimus Primal is that he's voiced by Gary Chalk, and like I said, he sounds like a bored superhero, but he's actually a pretty good leader in terms of his character and such.
Yeah, and like I said, they do a good job making him relatable.
But he doesn't have that sense of authority that Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime from the original series had.
Or I will say that wherever Gary Chalk is, I have no idea where. I just hope he's getting work.
Same here. Now, let's talk about some of the other main characters of the show.
Yeah, because there are a lot of really great side characters here, because one of my favorites has to be Rhinox.
Oh yeah, the supposed second in command of the Maximals, only to working under Optimus Primal, but he's he's the brute strength, but he's the most logical member of that.
He's the straight man.
Definitely.
And of course there's Rat Trap, who's kind of the comedian.
Yeah, he's kind of got a pessimistic attitude. Like, he often says, we're all gonna die. But he's just, that's just part of his humor.
He's probably the funniest. And of course we got Cheetor, who's basically the Bumblebee of this series.
He's very reckless, but he does mature as the series progresses.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that 14-year-old self that everyone once had. Everyone was once Cheetor, and now we're all Optimus Primals.
Yeah. And of course, then one of my favorite of the good guys is Dinobot.
Oh, definitely. He used to be part of the Predacons, but because he hates Megatron, he formed an alliance and such with Optimus Primal and is now part of the Maximal Forces.
Yeah, but what I really like about him is he's not really that, like, you know, kind of hero you want to hang out with. If anything, you want to stay as far away from him as possible in fear that he might bite your head off.
Definitely, but he does have a sense of honor, which is more important than anything, really.
Yeah, and then the bad guys, are also pretty memorable.
Definitely, what are some of their names?
There's Waspinator.
Oh, yes, I love Waspinator. He's definitely my favorite of the, other than Megatron.
He's just so fun. He's always getting blown up or beat up. He's like the whipping boy.
Yeah, who's the name of the tarantula?
The Tarantulas. Tarantulas is my favorite. He's just so creepy.
Yeah.
He's the only villain of them that actually scares me.
Definitely, especially that episode where he was like, he had Cheetor trapped in his web and such.
Oh yeah.
That was very
Then there's Terrorsaur and Scorponok. Terrorsaur is basically Starscream. That's literally all he is.
Yeah. And there are more characters as like in season 2 and 3, but that's for you to find out if you decide to give this show a chance.
Which we will give it a chance. And one thing I really love about this show is like the references they have to G1.
Oh yes, in fact, like remember Ravage from the original '80s cartoon? Well, like Predacons rebuilt him and even give him a voice. And
Decepticons forever!
he tries to rebuild the Decepticon Empire in that 3-part episode.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you G1 fans remember in season 3 when Starscream's Spark was possessing the Decepticons, he shows up here and starts possessing Waspinator.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get Starscream back.
Definitely. That was a great episode.
Since his exostructure was commandeered by the spark of Air Commander Starscream!
And of course, you can occasionally see flashbacks of the original G1 cast, and you can even see them in stasis in certain areas. Beast Wars has a really good premise, and overall, I would give it the green light. Sure, the CG animation is a little dated, but it is definitely a lot better than other CG shows at the time.
I hope those 2 homespun idiots have gotten rid of that cursed crystal coconut. It's already been a bad villain day. Great.
Yes, I give it the green light too. Though the CG may not held up, and a lot of it looks kind of Nintendo 64-ish.
I'd like to say more like PlayStation 1 FMV cutscenes, especially like the likes of Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But it is a good show. It has really good character development. Still not as like fun as G1,
but it's a great time.
Yeah. To wrap this up, we're going to wrap it up with that quote from Wayne's World. It's like Star Trek The Next Generation. In many ways, it's superior, but it will never be as iconic as the original. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't watch it.
As always, I'm Alec Alger.
I'm Justin Teeter.
Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay awesome!